So today we are at a center that houses children in conflict with the law. And this center's intention is to support and to assist the children to actually change their behavior, but it is also where they serve their sentence. Whatever sentence that they are sentenced, because they cannot be mixed with adults, they will come here and this is where they will pay for the crime. And our responsibility as social development is to turn them into functioning human beings that will go out at an early age and still be able to contribute positively to South Africa.
We're sitting in a grip of heightened crime in South Africa. Would you say that we are seeing an increase of children offenders?
Yes. Unfortunately, it's a very painful thing to say, but yes, South Africa, we are seeing an increase of children committing very, very, very hideous crimes, but also the age is getting younger and younger. For an example, our centers for children in conflict with the law was starting at 14, but now we are having children that are convicted for murder at the age of 9, at the age of 10. So we now need to begin to say, how do we deal with that? Because the law also say, was the child able to actually internalize whatever the crime that was? So also we're seeing a lot of criminals utilizing children to commit crimes because they know that the child, when caught, will not necessarily go to prison, but will go to a facility. But also we see criminals using children for one reason or the other. So we are at that reality, is that children are committing very, very painful crimes, and they are also getting younger and younger. So yes, it's a reality.
As a country, do we have enough systems, social workers? Does our criminal justice system have enough resources to deal with the minors who are committing crime? Are they equipped? Because obviously you need to deal with a young child differently from how you would actually deal with a hardened adult criminal. Are we equipped as a country to rehabilitate these children and guide them back into responsible adults?
I think social development is doing its best. Yes, we have social workers. We will never have enough social workers because the Children's Act alone requires 65,000 social workers. And yes, we have a high number of unemployed social workers. But in facilities such as this, we do have the requisite number in terms of our norms and standards. Our centers are compliant. They have the number of the discipline because it's a group of across departments that manages a center such as this one that we are here. It's not only social development. And yes, the children's courts and the what we call the family justice offices have been established. And the Justice College is producing more and more people, magistrates, judges that are interested in the law that relates to children. It was not the case in the past, but now as a country we acknowledging our challenges. We also producing police men and women that are able to handle children when they arrest them. So in a way, it is not a system that we must all be applauding, because under normal circumstances we should not be investing money in such situations. But we've acknowledged as a country, because we want everyone and everybody to feel safe as a priority for this administration and for this country, we have to respond quickly to make sure that children in conflict with the law are handled properly, and that they are not re-offending when they leave our centers.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Luvuyo Orphanage is one of the orphanages in the townships. It started in a very, very small shack where Soshanguve police would pick up children that were thrown out in the street by their mothers. And the one lady used to be a friend to a police officer. And she would then say to this officer, you can bring them whilst you are trying to find a homes for them. And she was staying in a shack. So it started as a very small shack. And we then met this lady at the church, and she started telling me that is more than 15 years ago. She started telling me about the children that she was looking after. There was like 3 of them, and right now the children that have gone through that orphanage are more than 500. We've had weddings at Luvuyo, we've had graduations at Luvuyo, we have doctors that came out of Luvuyo that benefited from the Cuba scholarship. So what we have done, we host Christmas parties for the children, and we make sure the children have school uniforms, so they benefit from all the programs. It's also an orphanage that we made sure social development funds. So it's now a registered orphanage. Of course, the space is still small, and it takes children that are abandoned by their families. It also takes children that are undocumented and stateless, and it also takes children that are waiting to be in the foster care system. There's a lot of children that also gets adopted at the orphanage. So it's an orphanage that is very close to our office. We have 5 orphanages as the office of the Deputy Minister. 1 in Atteridgeville, 1 in Sosville, 1 in Soshanguve, 1 in Sunnyside. So it's and 1 in, it's 5, ne, Oma? Yes, it's 5. So it's Luvuyo, in Mamelodi, Lerato. So it's Luvuyo, Lerato, Pearls, Precious Pearls, Kingdom Life, and Leamogetswe. And Leamogetswe was started by myself in 1996 in Atteridgeville. So all of these 5 orphanages are orphanages that I have been one of the people that actually looks after these orphanages from our own pockets, and until such time that we're able to get them to registration level. So it's some of those orphanages that have really contributed, and that as the Office of the Deputy Minister, we make sure that they are at the level where they are, and those are the ones that I personally support.